Hi, this is Mike Volomir. I'm with poolstudents.net, and we're here at the One Pocket Southwest Shootout that we're sponsoring, and we have a pretty good match to look at. We're going to try to do some instructional commentary. I'm here with Fast Lenny Marshall. He's a One Pocket aficionado. Many of you know him. Why don't you tell us about these two players, Lenny?
Well, you got Tom Neal, who's in the white polo shirt. He's from Tucson. He's one of the better players up in that area, Tucson, Arizona, and plays three cushion. And you got Bernie Pettipiece, who's a top player here at Colby's.
What kind of games do these fellas play?
Well, Tom plays all the games very well. He does have three cushion knowledge, so his knowledge of the rails is going to be very good when it comes to kicking at balls or banking balls. Bernie is a very good straight pool player and also one pocket player. He's got the one pocket bug, so he just loves to play it.
So right now Tom's checking the angles on the rails, how the balls come off the rails.
Yeah, he's just checking it out, getting a feel for the table, and he's good to go. He's ready to rack the balls. We'll see if he breaks close to the rail or if he breaks a little away from the rail. He hasn't really hit any balls on this table, so he's not very familiar with it.
Bernie is the reigning state straight pool player, right?
I believe he is. I know he went to the World Championships there in, I believe, New York 2 or 3 years ago. He's a very good player. He comes from a snooker background in his younger cue artist days, and he's just a good all-around player. You're going to see some good one pocket from both of these players and really see how they play the game the correct way. He's choosing the break. It looks like he's getting a little closer to the rail. And the idea is to split these two balls with a little bit of inside English. And it came with a very good break there. He's very close to the rail. You want to be in between the second and third diamond in that area and closest to the rail as possible.
Yeah, you can tell by the way Bernie's studying it that's a pretty effective break. I understand that you want that ball to end up right near that second diamond once you come off the rack.
Yeah, most certainly. He's looking for a way to, get out of the break. I mean, that's the biggest thing is returning the break. When you're in a tough position like this, is finding a shot to turn it around, because he's in a tough situation here with. He might have to bank the 10 into the 15 and stop his cue ball on the 13-4 there. That would probably be one shot that he has.
You think he would try that down, one rail off the top?
He could take a foul, too. He could take a foul and roll his cue ball up by that corner pocket or try to kick at the 5 from here. Yeah, he's going to choose to kick out the 5, and it looks like he hit it pretty good. Did he get a rail? No rail.
No rail.
And Tom's going to have a bank on the 14 and probably going to be able to get his cue ball to the rail again.
And I can tell you when a really good player like Bernie has to go up and back off the break, that it was some kind of break.
Oh, yeah, it was a very good break. It was textbook. So he's got options here. I mean, he can come off the 1 and get him behind the stack again, by the other side, the right-hand side pocket. Or he can bank the 14, which is a shot I like, and just roll forward. At 14 into the 5, and he makes it. A great shot. And
he's looking good from here.
Oh yeah, he's gonna. I mean, he could very well win the game from here, but certainly he's going to do considerable damage and be at least halfway there when the ball count. You get 4 or 5 balls, you're in great shape when the guy's at -1. But the key is to get as many balls as you can, because if you can get out and win the game, that's ideally what you want to do. But not everybody's going to be running 8 and out.
One thing I've as a beginner at this game I notice a lot is that when I'm in this situation or something near it, I'm always trying to crash into the rack to or the stack to get balls loose, and these guys generally just go around the stack looking for balls they can pick off. Did he get on the 6?
I think he can play the 6, but he might be thinking about 2-railing this ball and putting it over by his hole. Because sometimes it's better to shoot a shot like that where you're not because he might be able to make the 6, but he's probably not going to get too much afterwards because the balls aren't laying good.
Yeah, that's a beginner mistake. That's something that I would do where you think you can make the ball, but you're not really carrying too much or seeing too much where the cue ball is going to end up. I mean,
he's got to hit this right before the side pocket, and he'll 2-rail it, and he'll have the cue ball safe and get a ball by his pocket. He decided to roll down. It's a good shot. He hit it pretty well. What Bernie's going to do here is just kick that ball away. He might move it to his side of the table by the side pocket. The right-hand side pocket, he'll probably bank this 3 rails. And if he really wanted to, he might be able to bank it 3 rails and either stop his cue ball there or go into the stack and get his cue ball frozen. Got some options. Let's see what Tom does here. And he could try banking the 9 ball, and it's possible he can kind of get in between the 7 and 6 there and have his cue ball in a position where he doesn't leave Bernie a shot, but it's not without risk.
What about, could he possibly bank that 2 ball and come back across the table to be behind the stack? Well, he can't.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't really have the angle, and the 2 ball doesn't look like it will bank from where it is because the 1 ball's in the way. This is okay too. He can just freeze him to the stack and then put the 3 on his side for a future bank. I don't like this shot. This isn't really gonna help his cause because now he's got some balls on Bernie's side, and Bernie's probably just gonna move a ball and get him into the stack. He can come off the bottom of the 2 and roll his cue ball onto the stack if he likes. Might be able to even 2-rail the 2 ball and get his cue ball on the stack. That would be a shot. But you got to turn your cue ball a little bit loose. Instead, he just kept it simple. I'm not quite sure if he got right where he wanted to be, but I don't think he left anything either.
If you're a beginning 1-pocket player, that's a shot you ought to practice because I'm always trying to thin that ball and get right back in the stack, and it's not as easy as it looks.
This isn't too bad of a shot. He needs the cue ball to get lower because, see, now Bernie's probably going to, he can bank the 6 ball or he can bank the, I don't know if he'll bank the 15. It's possible. It's possible he can bank the 15 and he might not sell out anything. It might leave like a tough shot on the 2 ball. I kind of like the 6 ball if he can, if he has the angle to get safe. It would be high right-hand English. Might move the balls. Yeah, that's what he did. Nothing wrong with that shot. You're going to see some moving here between these two. They're going to just move her position, and when somebody gives a little bit of breathing room and makes a mistake, the other guy's going to pay for it. What would you do here, Mike? What shot do you see?
Well, I would probably do some kind of crazy bank on the 15 and then sell out so that he could make the 10 ball or something like that.
Well, if you can shoot at the 9, your cue ball is probably naturally going to go into this 3 ball, and that's what he's looking at. I mean, this is probably going to be a very good shot. He could play it, wide open and try to shoot at it, but I don't think he's going to have much reward, so he's better off just moving it to his side.
Yeah.
And then just putting his cue ball down by Bernie's pocket. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, that's the thing that beginners like me, mistakes I make are over-aggressive mistakes where aggression isn't called for.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to play the score. When you're behind and it's a game where you're a big underdog to lose, just say the guy is up 5-0, 6-0, you have to play a little more aggressive and take a chance to get back in the game. Otherwise, you won't be able to win the game. When you're playing from behind, when you're behind in the game, you need to play more aggressive, and when you're ahead, you need to be more conservative. That's very important in one pocket, to understand, to play the score. A lot of people will say in pool to play the table. Don't worry about your opponent, but in this game you have to play the score too. It's very important to know where you stand.
Well, it's also an emotional game. Bernie is a proponent of playing the player as far as trying to hit shots they have shown that they don't like.
Yeah.
Things that cause them to get mad or whatever, start frustrated.
If you're familiar with a player, you can play off some of his weaknesses, which are good. It's very important to exploit their weaknesses if they don't like certain shots or certain situations.
There's that stack shot. See, he just barely missed it, but it's okay. That shot comes up. It must come up 3 or 4 times a game where you get to nip the ball and try to come back in the stack.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do it a lot, boy, that really puts the pressure on your opponent.
Oh yeah, because it takes them out of their stroke too. Also. Another thing is. And they have to be conscious here of the 4 balls in the kitchen. You're not playing?
Because of the field was limited today, there's 22 players that they decided not to go with the 4 balls in the kitchen. So they're playing instead of 3-hour.
So they're going to be playing regular one pocket.
One pocket with a 3-hour limit of.
I like that rule of 3 hours for matches and tournament play. That's a very good rule to have.
3 hours can really come up too, because Bernie played a race to 2 last Saturday in a tournament and took 3.5 hours to finish it.
Yeah.
So if you get the wrong 2 players, it can go on all day long.
You can see this game is actually is going to take some time. Looks like Tom is leading by a score of 3 balls to -1, and the balls are going up table. They're getting out of play, And
well, I can guarantee you, Bernie's not going to do anything crazy.
No,
he's just going to wait for his opening.
Yeah, they're both going to be patient and do stuff like that. They're not going to really. You're not going to see them making too many mistakes or taking any flyers.
And that really kills a beginning player or a modestly beginning player, because they just cannot stand that. They're looking for anything to shoot.
Yeah. And
the first time they get a chance to shoot, they're shooting, and disaster comes shortly after that.
This game is very important to have patience. If you're a patient person and player, it's such a huge advantage over somebody who is going to take risky shots, because you can wait for them to make a mistake and
your opponent will absolutely play against that patience notion.
Oh,
if they think you're not patient, they're just going to let you get frustrated. And they don't really care, because in one pocket, that momentum shift just happens just like that. One shot, one errant shot, and the whole game turns around.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, it could be the smallest little mistake that you make, and it could turn the whole game around, and you can lose from there. It's just you got to be really cautious. See, he might have made an error here,
and he was trying to move the ball quite a bit, and so you could look at that as that's sort of an aggressive play.
He really. Bernie will play the 6, but I don't know if he's kind of jacked up. It's kind of funky situation here when you're jacked up over a ball. He might have to. He can get a cleaner shot here on the 15 ball, and he could probably run a little bit more balls. If he just makes the 6, rolls it in, he might sell out of bank here if he hits it badly. He's jacked up. Let's see how he does. No problem. He takes that one ball, and he's got to remember he's going to have to spot this up because he fouled earlier. So hopefully he's conscious of that. If he's not, he needs to get his cue ball down here to his bottom rail. If not, he's going to leave a bank. He's scratched, I think. Yes, he did. He scratched, so he still owes one, and he's got to spot that ball. And you're going to see Tom get... He's going to probably get 4 balls here. I see 4 that he can certainly get without much of a problem.
You never see a player of Bernie's caliber do that, what he just did. You could wait a couple days to see if that shot again, you never see it. Yeah, this is when these A players get this kind of table, you might as well forget it.
Yeah, I mean, he might get out here. He might get these 4 balls that are open, and he might bank the 8 ball. That might be his out ball, the 8 ball, to bank it. But he's got to get on this 9 ball first from the 6. He should be fine. Just a nice smooth stroke. He hit it pretty good. He should be fine. Looking good. He
does have a nice smooth stroke.
Now he could shoot this ball and he could bank the 3 next or bank the 8. I like banking the 8 ball if he can get on it. Unless this combination might be dead.
Oh,
that's a possibility. It's close. He might be able to throw it when 2 balls are frozen. If you want to throw it, just say it's pointing to the pocket to the right point. If you hit it to the right-hand side of the combination, it will throw it to the left, and vice versa. Left to go right, right to go left on the combinations that are frozen like that. Yep. And that's it. He wins the first game just like that.
He's got
one mistake.
He's got a perfect one-pocket stroke. It's just smooth and slow and easy.
Yeah. He plays the game very well, and Bernie's down 1-0 now. It's O'Neill leading.
A lot of the great rotation players, they come to one pocket and they still got that big stroke that they use in rotation game, and it's so hard to hit that stroke in one pocket because you get out of stroke, you hit it too hard, just bad things can happen.
Oh, yeah.
But to come with that stroke, that's just a beautiful stroke.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Unless you're Lenny Marshall and you can hit it with any kind of stroke and it goes in.
Sometimes I might use something a little different to get position. Last night I hit a shot and I really hit it firmly. I didn't really have much angle, and I kind of hit it so hard into the pocket the ball almost came out. But it hit the rail and back over. Let's see how Bernie breaks the balls. And now he lands a pretty good break, but Tom should be able to get out of this without any real problems here.
Yeah, there's balls he can come off of.
Oh, yeah, he can do a lot of different things here. He could play this combination bank and keep his cue ball on the stack. He can... he's got to be careful here about kicking at the 3 because he'll probably leave a cross bank. So...
That's an interesting thing where you just cannot know what your break's going to end up. Hit it the same way every time, and it's going to break different each time.
No, it's very important for you people out there who are, maybe just getting into the game and you don't know, is when you rack the balls, you want the balls frozen, especially the head ball and the side that you're breaking on. All those balls you want frozen and touching, because if you have a loose ball and it will come out and you might scratch, or the ball will come out in front of the opponent's hole. So it's very important to have the balls frozen. And make sure the rack is straight. If the rack is tilted to the right or the left, if it's tilted to the right the way Bernie broke, if it was tilted under screen a little bit to the right, you can scratch like that also. He played that shot that I was talking about, and left Bernie really not much of a shot, but Bernie he could probably move some balls over and keep him in the stack here.
The problem with that shot, you hear people talking about you never want to leave the cue ball.
Yeah, on the opposite side.
On the opposite side.
You're right. It's in this situation, he didn't really have much else that he could do. And Bernie, here he's got to be very careful here of what he does. That was a good shot. Now let's see what Tom does as a return. He'll probably have to come off the 13 and draw down here towards the balls. that are towards the 11 ball. Ideally, you'd like to get his cue ball on that ball. But I don't know if he can draw. I think he's kind of jacked up in a situation where he can't draw the ball. So it might not be possible for him to get down there from the situation that he's in. He can't draw the ball. He can only use the high ball.
Is this a situation where you would consider a foul?
He could take a foul. That wouldn't be a bad choice, but I believe it is a 3 foul in this tournament, and I think what's going to happen is they're just going to take fouls until he's on 2. Not a bad shot. He doesn't want to scratch. It looks like he's going in the drink.
Yeah.
Yep, he's in there, and Bernie will do some damage here. I mean, Bernie very well could win the game from here because the balls are fairly open for him.
Well, let's keep track because that's one mistake. He was okay after the break, but that one mistake. I mean, he's an experienced player. For him to get that cue ball to go in the corner pocket, it shows how tough this game is.
And also, the thing is, they played that first game, and it was. You got to get familiar with the speed too, especially when you're hitting him that thin. Speed control is so important in one pocket. Well, he might have snookered himself on the 4 ball. I don't think he can make it, and that's an error. He's going to have to do something a little different here.
And you can tell he's not happy about it.
He could try to bank the 1 ball if he wanted to. It's an aggressive shot, but I don't think he would sell out anything. And if he makes it, he'd have some sort of reward. But he might be just pocketing the 8 ball. No, he's just going to dink it to the rail, leave him jacked up over the 8. That's not really too bad of a shot.
But he didn't want that. I mean, that's about the last thing he wanted after he had that straight-in ball and hand shot.
Oh, yeah, you want to get as many balls as you can and get every ball that you can see. I mean, he just made an error there because he should have gotten on the 4 and then either played the 3-11 combination or got shape for the 11.
Well, I find the toughest shot in this game is that ball in hand, straight shot in the corner. I miss it all day long. Got any advice for that one?
I think it's very important that obviously to make the balls. You see a lot of people will set up their cue ball and have a funky angle on that shot instead of just maybe saying, you know what, it depends on how you're shooting, and you might say to yourself, well, I'm just going to set up and shoot. He fouled there, and I think he left him a bank, but
so
it's very important to make the ball. Yeah, he's on 2. I don't know if Bernie told him that or if he realizes it, but he is on 2.
And 3 fouls in 1 pocket, you lose the game.
Lost a game, yes. It's very big. Very big, especially when you're racing the 3. I don't know if he left him this bank or not. It looks close on the monitor. If he didn't, if he didn't from here, Bernie could do. He's going to try to hit the 8 ball here. This is not a bad shot. I like this shot. You got to be very confident and knowledgeable to rails. It's okay. That's an all right. He fouled here, but it's not really a bad foul.
That's very interesting because that's what a really good player will do. What I would have done was sort of bank that red ball, back across the table and left my cue ball on the other side. And that's okay, but it doesn't get you anywhere, and they are able to get out of the mess that they're in. Yeah,
and now look he fouled.
He just lost the game. You never, ever see that. Ever do you see that?
That's 3 times. That's 3 fouls in a row. That's huge, and that is the worst way to lose a game in 1 pocket. He just, and you can see he's frustrated.
And he's not a beginning player. He's a well-seasoned, really good player.
Yeah.
So that's just how tough this game is.
Yeah. Well, the score is 1-1 nonetheless, and Tom's going to be breaking the balls.
And how Bernie won that game was just by not doing anything.
No, he just,
he just stayed safe.
Yeah. Tom just made some errors there and hung himself there. And now you're going to have to, hopefully he can move past it and try to not think too hard about it, because otherwise he's not going to play his game. He's not going to be playing too well.
And that really affects one pocket, your emotional state.
Tom's going to break the balls, and we'll see if he can lay down that textbook break that he did before. No, he hit a ball, and he scratched again.
Now
Scratches in a row, huh?
he's really hot now.
Yeah, he's not too thrilled about this, and
that can just build, in a player in one pocket. You can just get frustrated, more upset, and it really takes over your game sometimes. I don't expect it to take over his game because he's an experienced player, but someone like me, I'm on tilt.
Yeah. Well, I think here Bernie's looking at moving a ball. He's not going to shoot like the 7 ball. Like, maybe your novice player will say, I'm going to shoot the 7 because it's there to shoot. But there's not a lot of reward in it, and there's a big risk. He can lose the game instead of winning the game. You're risking the game on making one ball and giving up the whole game. It's just not. It's not a smart choice, but he's a straight shooter, and he might have to shoot. But no, he's going to move. He's going to hit the balls. Well, let's see what he does from here. Well, he didn't scratch, and that's a good thing.
I think his head would have exploded if he scratched for the 5th straight time.
Well, Bernie might bank the 1 into the stack here and stop his cue ball right there and just push balls over towards his hole. I like that shot, but he might not get aggressive here. He might just continue to do what he's doing. I like this shot, although. Bank the 1 into the stack and stop your cue ball right there. It's the obvious shot, and it's the right shot.
Sometimes I have trouble with the speed on this shot. I want to hit it hard, but I don't have the nerve to hit it hard enough to get an action like Bernie just got.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta focus on keeping your cue ball frozen there, and it's important also to look at the stack to see where you want to bank to. You don't just get up there and just smash it into the stack because you might hit a part of the stack where it pushes some balls over to his pocket and you sell out. So it's important to know where you're going to be hitting the ball.
Wow, and you know my game well. That's exactly what I do.
But you definitely got to keep an eye on that. But that's a shot that comes up where some players might be a little timid about shooting, but it's the right shot and you got to shoot it because now he's got some strength on his side, and we'll see what Tom does from here. Probably cross the 5 and leave him on the balls, or what is he going to do? Well, he got aggressive and he made a ball. I don't think he was playing that, but
I think that came from him being mad about the scratches. That was an unusual shot to take in that situation.
He's still got to make a ball here, and I think he can make the 11 ball, but no guaranteed position, I don't think. And if he misses, he's going to pay for it. So he's going to elect to move the 6 ball. He'll just hit the right-hand side on your screen of that ball and just come down on the deuce. That's perfect.
Wow,
that's a
nice.
good shot. Now Bernie's going to just thin off the 6, very thin, and probably just get his cue ball by the top left-hand corner pocket.
Len, if he could leave the cue ball there every time, you have a good chance of winning.
Yeah,
one pocket.
Yeah. Well, Bernie could just. I mean, he could go. I don't think he's going to go off the 2. He's probably just going to go really thin off the 6, and then go by the left-hand corner pocket.
Would he do that little dink shot where he just barely touches it and hits the rail if it's not frozen?
Yeah. I mean, he could do that shot too, but I mean, he's got 3 shots. He might see he can come off the 2 and go in between these balls. This is a good shot too. He did it. Well, he dinked the ball. But now, what Tom's going to do here is he can shoot into the 2-9 and combine the 6. Very important. Cue ball. Cue ball is important. There he goes. And Bernie can go off the 6 thin and probably get his cue ball almost by Tom's pocket.
He's looking at that.
It's important to look at a lot of different shots when you're playing.
You mean you shouldn't shoot like in 5 seconds every time?
Usually not. Yeah. I mean, unless you are, sometimes you're ahead of the guy in the game, actually. Certain people, when you get deep into the game, well, he decided to take a foul instead of going thin off the 6. Nothing wrong with that. He might not want it to have moved the 6 because the 6 plays for him. You know, that's a ball, and if he moves it over into the cluster, it's one less ball that he can do something with. But
well, that's what you see from the really good players. They are not afraid to take a foul. You know, a foul means nothing to them in the sense of...
Tom might do the same thing. He might take a foul here. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you prefer not to, but it's not always... Sometimes taking a foul is the best shot, you know, it's...
Well, that was interesting.
Not too bad of a shot. Now what Bernie's going to do is going to go thin off the 9 ball and get his cue ball to the left-hand side of your guys' screen, probably at like around the... either between the first and second diamond, most likely. You can see the shot that he's shooting now.
This is a shot that comes up all the time early in the game.
Yeah. He didn't really get his cue ball up. I mean, it would have been better if it was a little higher, but this isn't too bad either. I mean, he's all right. Well, let's see what Tom does from here. That's a good shot. That's a good shot.
That does all the things you want to do. You want to move the balls onto your side. You want to be behind their ball. Get any balls out that you can from their side. All-purpose shot.
Well, he's got to be careful here of what he does. I mean, he could go off the 6 ball and run his cue ball up and down the table and get it on Tom's side here. And I think that's what he might be doing. Or he could just 2-rail the cue ball to Tom's pocket. Yeah, he's going to take a foul, it looks like. Oh, he's going to hit the 10. How did it? That's not good enough. Tom's going to cut the 10 ball in. But, you know, I don't know if the balls are going to open up good for Tom. I don't know if he's going to get anything after this. It's possible. If the 11 might go for him. No. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Almost came out worse for him.
You know, I mean, there wasn't... You could just tell by the way the balls were lying that he wasn't really going to... It wasn't really going to do too much there. He needed to catch a break. You got to go into the balls a certain way sometimes to open them up.
I find this is an area where I get in trouble, where I take a shot like that. I'm hoping to get something. I don't get it. I put a ball to my opponent's side, and now I'm in trouble.
Yeah. You got to be cautious of where you're going into the balls, and... He's just going to soft kick this out, I think. Yeah. Bernie's going to bank the 6 ball. There's no doubt about it in my mind that he's going to bank that 6.
Because it's a free shot?
It's close to free. I mean, he might leave him a combination on the 8-11, but that's just a risky shot.
It's a good. Oh, didn't turn.
But he hit it at a pretty decent speed where it's going to sit there. There he goes. He's probably going to just have to give him this ball.
That's another one of those big things in one pocket is speed on those banks. You just have to leave it in the hole, otherwise it's almost not helping.
See, Tom could try to take this ball out, but he's probably better off making it and trying to get his cue ball where Bernie is safe. So, you know, some people might try to move this ball, but you might give up a lot more balls if the cue ball turns loose or you scratch or something. He'll probably just roll it in. He doesn't want to let him see the 11 ball. That's a big thing, too. If he lets him see the 11, Bernie's going to bank it into the balls and move more balls towards his hole. He's going to try to play the 6 and get on the... just leave him right there, maybe corner hook him. And he came down. I don't know if he let him see the 11 or not. I don't know if he can go between the 9-2 here and hit the 11. He's looking at it now. if he can, he might have Tom in some trouble after this shot. This is a very big shot here. If he could see that 11. Because what he's going to do, he's going to bank into the balls and get his cue ball down by Tom's pocket just against the rail. Yeah.
Wow.
And, now Tom has got to do something here. He's not in a serious trouble because he's probably just going to bank the 1 to his side, but he's got to be careful where he leaves that cue ball. And he's got to be careful because he doesn't want to leave any banks, because if he banks the 1 towards this hole, Bernie could bank the 11, or the balls that are there by the spot, he might have a cross bank there too into the ball. So he's got to look out where he leaves the cue ball. He doesn't want to just move the ball. And this isn't a bad shot either if he's going to make the 11 ball. Wow, this is a great shot. Look at this shot. That came out of nowhere, huh? Did he get safe? Yes, he did.
Wow.
That was a great shot. He had a perfect angle there to come 3 rails. That's where his 3-cushion play comes in. That was a 3-cushion shot.
That's another thing the beginning players don't see, is that you can go three cushions with the cue ball and get on the right side and just like he did and have everything working just right. You're on the right side. You got a ball near your pocket. That's like bingo.
That's a risky shot, and it's low percentage for majority of players. But somebody like Tom with his 3-cushion experience, he knew where the cue ball was going. And if the ball went there, it was a bonus. He's going to just kick this ball in. And then Tom will be in a little bit of trouble again. This is always a scary shot, but in one pocket you play it so much that it just becomes a natural shot for you to kick that ball in.
In the last 2 or 3 shots, this is the thing about one pocket, is the game could have changed in any direction depending on each of those shots, and they both held serve basically.
Well, it looks like Tom is leading 2-0 in this game, and they're gonna they got to earn this game, because I don't see either one really making too many mistakes. I mean, that last game was very uncharacteristic. So
I don't think he's scratched 4 times in a row in his life.
Yeah, especially in one pocket.
But from that last shot where he went 3 rails, his nerves are just fine.
Yeah, most certainly.
With good players, it's always you can always tell when it's a key shot or a difficult shot. That's when they take a lot of time. Otherwise, they don't pretty much.
And it's just a difficult situation.
Oh, he's going. Oh.
Well, I mean, he wanted to ideally get him behind the ball. He was happy to take a foul there because he was in a funny situation. Most players would try to do something a little bit different there, but it wasn't a bad shot.
That's what comes with being able to shoot straight. You're not worried about number of balls because you can run balls.
Now, Bernie's going to have to do something here. He's going to have to come with a pretty decent shot. We'll see what ball he comes off of. So he'll probably just go off the... I guess he's going to look at it going off the 15.
What about hitting the 15-8? Clearing the ball.
Well, he's going to leave a bank on the 9 if he does, unless he gets his cue ball over.
That's right.
That's a good shot, too. How did he hit it? Pretty good. Now he's got the 15 playing for him. He's got the 9. Tom's just going to move the 9. He's going to 2-rail in the stack and leave his cue ball. Right, the 2's going to have cover for him. So he's going to 2-rail this 9 ball into the balls. He could get lucky and make a ball here, but he's probably going to leave Bernie nothing. Look at this. Oh, wow. He almost made that ball.
Wow.
He's coming with some shots. And I don't think Bernie can really see this ball clearly. He might have to kick at this ball one rail.
It's amazing
like
with great
earlier.
players. They just come with a shot, and you thought they were dead, and now they're just fine.
Yeah.
Trading blows.
Well, he might be able to catch the edge of this 9 and move it over. If not, he could have kicked at it, but it looks like he can see it. If he couldn't, he would have done something different there. This isn't too bad. He's going to get him on the rail. And what Tom's going to do here is probably just come off the 8 ball here. I mean, I don't see him firing at the 315 and trying to move both balls over. It's just too risky. If he does that, I mean, I think bad things could happen to him, but he is. It looks like he's jacking up, and maybe he's trying to swerve around and hit the 15. I don't know what he's doing here. Might be just playing these balls into one another. Yep, he moved them over. See, I don't like that shot. I don't like it because he's left a bank on the 15 or the 3. The 15 is going to be ideal. I'm going to bank the 15 here if I'm Bernie, and and just get cover on the cue ball, because if you don't have a pocket, the 15 doesn't go straight in. It's going to combo in a ball, so it's pretty low percentage that he's going to actually make a ball here. So he wants to protect the cue ball and just move the balls in front of his pocket. This is going to be a pretty important shot here. This is the game right here. This is a very important shot for Bernie to make. He needs to execute it the right way. I don't like it. That shot was too weak. So
well, that worked pretty good. Oh, it didn't go.